Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Female.
Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today I feel kind of like stressed a little bit, and it's because I know I need to do something different based off of like what happened with my full-time job that is now part-time. Mentally, I cannot handle a full-time, I cannot handle a job where I have to work more than 5 days in a row and not have time off. I need a job that provides me flexibility where I can schedule my days on and schedule my days off, and if I need to take a break, I can easily schedule those days off for myself to recuperate because of my mental health. And knowing that, years ago, when I graduated from high school, I knew I needed a job that provided me with flexibility where I could have control over my hours. I just somehow knew that, and I tried to make that happen before it was time, and it didn't really work out. But now, since I've been diagnosed, I tried doing the whole full-time job, working 6 days straight, 1 day off, going back to work. I tried that, and it doesn't do well for me now. I was doing that when I worked at Supercuts in Connecticut. I was working sometimes 9 days straight and then 1 day off, or 10 days straight and then 2 days off, or 3 days off. I was doing that with no problem, but now I cannot do that. And I have, 1 second. I have this lovely business opportunity that I invested in August of last year, of 2024. And it wasn't my first time making this investment. My first time making this investment was in 2019, in August of 2019. And I didn't have, God gave me this vision. And I took that vision and I tried to make it happen on my own without any higher power help, if that makes sense. I just tried to do it on my own as best I could. I got nowhere, and 2 months later, I left the company, completely left the company. Threw out all my products, left the company. A year later, 2020 happened. I was now out of a job because the job I had at Supercuts, they shut down because of the quarantine, the countrywide quarantine date that happened in March of 2020. So I was now out of a job. This opportunity presented itself to me again. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna invest in it. And I got one person. I think that was the time I got one person. I got one person to sign up underneath me and be a business partner. And I felt like, oh, I'm accomplished, but that fire that I had burnt out. I still had that vision that God gave me in my mind, but the fire, the desire burnt out. So I don't think I left, but I just like didn't really do anything with it. Then you have a 1 year, or every year you have to resubscribe. It's like $50. I didn't have $50, so I scrounged up the $50 and resubscribed for a year. And I think that time I like let it go. Like I just didn't do it the next year. Then that was the second time. The third time, and y'all probably like, girl. The third time, this opportunity was presented to me. I signed up again, this time with way more products than the first time. So I had more to work with, more to, show results with, I didn't do anything with it. Like, I just didn't know where to begin. I didn't know where to start. And this time, I remember I just randomly one day was on Instagram, and it crossed my mind to look up my old mentor that I had with money. And I found her Instagram. I messaged her and basically was like, I want to, start up again. Pretty much said that. And she was like, okay. I got her number. We started texting. And I signed up August of last year. And it's now 5 months later. What's that? September, October, November, December, January. 5 months later, yeah. It's now 5 months later in January. And the other day, I was literally in full-on prayer mode. And I finally just like surrendered the vision that God gave me in 2019. And literally said, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what you want me to do with this. Like, you keep bringing this opportunity up to me, but I don't know what to do with it once I get it. I don't know who to contact. I don't know what kind of content I need to be putting out. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, this is the first time I'm admitting I don't know what I'm doing with this at all. Like, and it's so simple. You're just using, I think in here I have some hair products and some skincare products, but you're just using hair products, skincare products, and sharing your results. And you think that would be something so easy for you to do, but I'm a person where like I'm noticing like I'm kind of shy. Like I don't really put myself out there like that. Like even with how I bring myself to YouTube now versus how I did a few years ago. Like a few years ago when I would come to YouTube, I would always come with like high energy with every single video and like be super hype and super, trying to be super goofy and super funny because that's like what I saw other YouTubers that I watched doing. So I figured that's how I needed to come. And like now I'm kind of like, they say in church, come as you are and the Lord will accept you. That's kind of like what I'm doing with my content on YouTube. Like I'm just coming as I am. Like I don't have it in me to try and be like overly energetic and super hype. I just don't. That's just not me. Like that's just not me. Like I'm learning since I've been diagnosed, and I'm healing from that trauma, and I'm learning more about myself, like who I really am, like without that trauma attached to me. I'm not, like, I'm outgoing, but I like to observe. I've always been this way though, but I like to observe before I act. Like, I don't just, like, I could go to a party and I'll sit there and observe the entire room. That's why when I used to drink, like, I would need liquid courage to, like, loosen up and, like, talk to people and be funny. But I would need, like, something to help me, like kind of, like, drop my guard down to talk to somebody and be open. So, like, this, I'm realizing now, is, like, way outside of my comfort zone. But I know, like, once I get my rhythm, once I get my rhythm, I will be, like, unstoppable. I will be able to flow. But it's just like it's like when you're trying to start a car and it's the middle of winter and your car is not starting. But then once it starts, you're able to go. Like, I'm at that stage where, like, I'm trying to start the car and the car's not starting. No matter what I do, the car's not starting. I don't know what I'm doing. And it's not just with this, it's with my content. Like, God gave me a vision again for this year, 2025, of what He has in store for me. And, like, this is the first year I ever made a vision board. I think I told y'all that in the last video, but I made a vision board this year. And, like, ever since I've made it, I've basically been praying in my room. Like, you know, certain topics will come up in my mind and I would just pray about it and let it go. I don't even remember the last thing I prayed about, to be honest. Because, like, truly, like, once I'm done praying about it, I, like, surrender it and, like, forget about it. Like, I literally get, like, let go and let God. Like, literally. So, and I know I'm not the only one out there that, you know that you want something different with your life. Like, I know I want a different lifestyle than I have. And I'm not talking about traveling and, like, buying luxury items. I'm talking about my health being better mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm talking about really, that's all I'm focused on. Is my mental health being better, my physical health being better, and my spiritual health being better. And I feel like me having a job that is flexible, where I can control my hours, will help my mental health be better. But it's so new to me that I don't know where to begin with it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing. And I know that's okay, because I feel like it kind of shows God that I have faith in Him and trust in Him, that He will guide me and lead the way with this journey and give me the ideas of what to do. Like, literally, I'm giving everything to God, because I know, like, I can't do this on my own. Like, I've tried to do this on my own. You know, when COVID happened, I tried to do the whole working from home thing, where I was just basically a content creator. And I did get a decent amount of following on TikTok, but as we know now, TikTok is supposed to go bye-bye in a couple of days, so. But I did have a decent following on TikTok that I built organically from posting every single day, like multiple times a day, like a lot in a day. But I wasn't making much money off of it, so it was like, all that was really for nothing because I was barely making any money. And now it's just like I know that like making these videos, they're like mini documentaries for me to go and look back at a certain time. It's like a journal, like a video journal. Like I know I'll look back on this video in a certain amount of time and go like, girl, if only you knew. But right now it's like I wish I knew what to do. I wish I knew, like, I wish I knew. Like, it's so hard to just sit back and give everything to God. Like everything that I have, that I've been thinking about, that I've been worrying about, I've given everything to God. And it's like once you do that, there's nothing left for you to think about. So you're just kind of sitting still, waiting for something to happen, waiting for an idea to come, waiting for something. You don't know what you're waiting for, but you know it's good. And that's really how I feel. Like I wish I knew what to do. Like I like sometimes wish I was like those girls that I see online that, you know, they're making, you know, all this money and they're living their life and they're doing all these things. But then I also remember, like, everybody starts somewhere. Like nobody, not Steve Jobs, not even the guy that made Amazon, like they all started somewhere with a vision and they just worked at that vision every single day, bit by bit by bit. But I'm at that stage where it's like, I'd love to work on this every day, but I don't know what I should be doing every day. I don't know where to begin. Like, the vision that God gave me is so grand. It's like, I know on my own, I cannot make that happen. I've tried on my own to make every vision that He's given me since I was a little girl happen. And the only thing that happened, like the only thing that actually completed in the physical was me getting my cosmetology license. Like my whole life I knew I was going to become a cosmetologist, and I did that in Connecticut. When I lived there, I became my cosmetologist, but I didn't really do much with that license. And now here where I live now in Kentucky, I'm becoming a cosmetologist here and I'm going to school, and I just feel like this is where everything happened. This is where, like, I become the hairstylist that I've always wanted to become. And it's just like I can see it, but I can't feel it. And I don't know, I feel so, I want to say lost. I'm not lost, like I know where I'm going, but I'll say lost in transition, because I'm used to just working, like getting a job and working. I'm not used to setting my own schedule or working for myself. Like even when I thought I was working for myself, I was still just going about it the same way as I would at if I was working a 9 to 5. Like, oh, I gotta work this many hours a day, like, 8 to 10 hours a day doing this and like content creating. I gotta do 8 to 10 hours a day content creating, and I gotta push this content out. And it's not like that when you set your own schedule. Like, you have freedom for your days. Like, you don't have to force yourself to sit down and work for 8 hours straight with no break, or with a set 30-minute lunch break. If you want to take a 2-hour lunch break, you could take a 2-hour lunch break. If you want to take an hour lunch break, you could take an hour lunch break. If you want to be off today, but you're supposed to work today, you could do that. That's when me when I say lost. But thank you guys for watching today's video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn your notification bell so you don't miss a video of mine. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye.